Now it's more ready for a video. What's up, guys? So this is a very unplanned video, so let me explain. As you can see, 360 degrees of amazing filming location, and this all sprung from the fact that the F-250 needed new tie rod. If you know anything about tie rods, then you know that they are a very, very important piece. There's a gator over there in the water, right over there, just saw that. Pretty cool. Welcome to Florida. Gators everywhere. Not that weird for me. Might be cool for one of y'all from another state. Cool, tie rods are what hold the steering together. And in the F-250, they decided that they wanted to be replaced. So they have the F-250 at a shop in Middleburg, Florida right now. It's called Kurt 4x4. They're good for really good little maintenance stuff and different things like that. The fact that the truck is in there, I was like, okay, well, let's just go out and let's just make a video. So we have the Ford Raptor with us. The Ford Raptor is a 2012 in red, very low mileage, new tires on it. I mean, BF Goodrich KO2s, really great tires. I love these things. I've had them on multiple trucks. It has the 6.2 liter V8 inside it, so it is the old school one, and it is not the new V6 that is in the Raptors. So the way that this truck, with the low miles, the way that it has been taken care of, the perfection of it overall, almost stock. I mean, a cool air intake and different tires from stock. That's literally it. Makes it, to me, a very rare truck. I have never seen another Raptor of this generation in this kind of condition. I am gloating a little bit about this truck, a little more than I usually do, and the reason I am doing that is because it is not mine. It is a family member's that they let me borrow from time to time in order to do videos like this for you guys, or if I have a compelling reason. So I've decided, let's take the Raptor, let's go find a good location, and I think I have accomplished that, of finding a really cool location. And oh, 60 F-250 going by, that's pretty cool. First things first is what I love about it, essentially. What I love about this truck would be the ride. That's the number one thing. Now, the ride on this truck has contributed to one thing. If you look right there, those are Fox shocks developed by SVT, and I mean, the ride on this thing, I cannot stress enough, is just amazing. Now again, I might be a little not the best person to ask due to the fact that I drive a solid front axle 6-inch lifted F-250 with a rough country on it, so it doesn't ride very good. It rides like crap. But this one has just amazing suspension on it. I mean, so amazing. The way, I can't stress enough how amazing this truck rides, and it's all stock suspension. So if the family member that owns this truck, if I ever convince them to do some mods to it, or if I end up buying it off of them one of these days and doing those mods myself, I will be very, very particular on the suspension changes, because it rides so good now. I want to keep that ride quality and maintain it. So other things I would love about this truck is the absolute looks of this thing. I mean, look at that thing. That is I don't even know how to express it, sexy truck. One way that I break down builds, I don't just go willy-nilly into building a truck for people, because a lot of the people I know, people I used to go to high school with, people who are family members, when they have trucks and they decide, hey, I want my truck to be better than stock, they usually come to me just because they want someone who's done it before, and they know that I have done it before. And so I don't just go willy-nilly into these builds. I like to break them down a little bit, and one way that I do that is understanding the color scheme. Now, what Raptor did that most people probably wouldn't notice, that I do, is there are 3 types of combinations for the color of the build, and that would be a one color build, which is not 100% common. That's like all blacked out trucks. That's one color, all black. Second thing would be like the color, whether that of the actual truck, like the paint itself, and then a secondary color like chrome or black, or if you're getting crazier, it could be something different. Then there's the trickiest of the trickiest builds, 3 color builds. Raptor did that stock. So an example of a 3 color build would be like black wheels, white truck, a powder coat color on the suspension, like red or candy copper or some. If you want to see one like that, go on D-Max Rhino's Instagram. He has a Denali, and it is an LML, and it's amazing. That Duramax is so awesome. He went with a transparent copper on a white truck with black accents and stuff. Great truck, great build, great content on YouTube he has too, so you can also check out his YouTube if you want. But if you look at Raptor, they did that from the factory. And where they did that at is this gray. So this gray is here on the fenders. I guess you could say fender flares, but not really. The gray is also here and here and in the back on the bumper too. So that's gray. And then you can see in the wheels has black, and all the accents like this has black. Up on the front, it has a wrap from the factory. It says F-150 Raptor SVT on it, if you can't read that. And that is also black. And then obviously the over-encompassing color that comes in multiple different colors from the factory, the red you see. So that's a 3-color build on a stock truck. So there's another thing that I absolutely love about the F-150 SVT Raptor. Important thing that I really love about it, and we'll have to start the truck in order to show you that one. The Raptor is not only pure horsepower and performance from the standpoint of what the engine can do, but it is also very smart. So if you could see, this middle screen says off-road, has many different screens here. So if I was to turn off traction control, there you go. It tells you that it's on sport and traction control. The off-road mode down here, so I can turn that one on, lets you know. Awesome screen there. And it's got hill descent control, and right there you see how it has 2 axles on there. It's kind of like the tires and the axles and the differentials and all that. If I flip it to 4-wheel drive, 4x4 shift enabled, all of them turn blue to show that you are in 4-wheel drive on that screen. Back to 2-wheel drive and we're good. If it was 4-low, I'm pretty sure it'd be purple. You have to go into neutral in order to go into 4-low. Then there's the off-road screen that it's usually at. It shows you all the degrees of how the truck sits from side to side to up and down, which is really cool. Economy screen, I don't ever use this when I drive it. I know the certain family member that owns this does use it, but I decide not to use that. But that is not only the most interesting thing. So down here, I'll go ahead and put it in drive, and you can see the numbers on the right side of the screen that weren't there before it was in drive. And those numbers represent the transmission gears. There's 6 of them. Right here is a button, plus and minus. So if I was to put it in manual, I could shift with those. But what will it do when it's in drive? Watch this. I'm gonna click the button down 1. Now it's a 5-speed transmission. I'm gonna click it down 1 more. Now it's a 4. Goes all the way down to 3 when I do that, and then I can put it back up to 6. And it will not shift above those in any time that the truck is moving if you adjust it like that. I call it gearing down the transmission. I don't even know what the legitimate term is for it, but when you do that, this Raptor changes extreme amounts. I mean, this thing becomes so much faster. It's just like the concept that you see in drag racing where people are like, oh, I put a 2-speed power glide in my Nova, and it's like, oh, why'd you do that? Well, 2 shifts, you're shifting less, you're on the throttle heavier, you're just spending more time climbing the speed instead of stopping to shift, instead of slowing down to shift and all that. And so it's the same concept with this truck where you can put it in like that and adjust the transmission, and you will be spending more time climbing speed instead of shifting. And in a race, that is everything. And that is very, very handy to have. And that's actually one of my top 5 favorite things about this truck. The other thing is the stock sound, not all that great. Now this has a cool air intake and from AFE, and that air intake made such a big difference in sound. But here, let's go in and see what the GoPro, yes, this is a GoPro, can pick up sound wise. It gets up on those revs very fast. I did not put it down that hard. It gets up on those revs extremely fast, and you can just tell that's a performance tuning from the factory causing that. And so it sounds good. There's sound coming to this, so go ahead and, if you like what you're seeing right now, go ahead and subscribe, because there are extra things happening to this Raptor. I know the owner is saying about doing a diverter If you want to know what a diverter is, let's just say it makes the truck sound a little bit better and quieter at the same time. If you want to know what that is, go ahead and subscribe. He's probably going to be putting that on in a few weeks, not really sure. It takes 5 weeks for them to build it once he orders it. He's procrastinating on ordering it, essentially. So once that gets put on here, this truck will sound amazing. It'll be an absolute beast and great for content. Another thing that I love about the Ford Raptor is these switches, aux1, aux2, aux3, aux4, right? They are not wired to anything, but they are wired in. These wires right here run to those switches that are ground right here in order to install anything you want. Here's the cool air intake we have on it, by the way. Those switches are pre-wired in, so if you have a light bar or something along those lines that you want to put in this truck, you just wire it straight to that, put the ground on there. It is so easy, and you have those aux switches done. Raptor knew that people who are buying these kind of trucks are the people that are going to do things to these kind of trucks. I love this truck. I love everything about this truck. Looks wise, everything. It's such an amazing truck. You've probably heard me mention these tires earlier, and there's a thing about the truck that I absolutely love that starts with these tires. These are not stock tires. These are BF Goodrich KO2s, and the Raptor comes with the BF Goodrich KOs in that time frame of 2012. Now they do come with these tires on the modern ones. So this is a 35-inch tire, right? No rubbing on stock height. Let that sink in for a second. No lift kit, no leveling kit, nothing. And the 35s don't rub on this truck. Raptor knew what kind of people were getting these trucks, and they knew exactly what they were doing. These are 18-inch wheels, and I really do like the design on them. As you can see, they could probably use some extra cleanage, but overall the truck is pretty clean. As you saw in the beginning of the video, it's not 100% dirty. If for some reason you're looking at a used Raptor to buy, or maybe you have a Raptor and you're wanting to know extra things about it, or whatever reason that you would just love Raptors. Maybe you just love Raptors and you watch Demolition Ranch too much and you're like, hey, I want to watch some other Raptor videos. This video was made for you. This video was made as an over-encompassing way to look at the Raptor, and this thing is a boss. I love this truck. Let's run over it real quick on what it is. 411 horsepower, 6.2 liter V8. Suspension stock that's not small. Amazing step bars. Great paint, great looks, great suspension, great truck overall. You will not dislike if you ever get the chance to drive a Raptor. They are awesome trucks. And with that, I guess that's the end of this video. Thanks for stopping in, guys. If you liked anything that you heard on this video, or you want to see some future content based on the F-250 or the Raptor, go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell and get you some more content coming your way.